It's not like to a toxic point, but like I just had.
My grandma tried to waterboard me.
I had a conversation with my super duper Christian aunt and uncle.
Mm-hmm. You know, I've had this for like a year and a half. She did it while I was an adult.
Things like that. And there were a few points in the conversation that were a little bit uncomfortable. But like, it was very clear that they were trying to listen and at least see my point.
Unprepared, like I was already waiting over the bathtub when it happened, washing my hair.
To bring that point about.
Right.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Always go left on red. That's what I say. Is it therapy? No, it's the first word.
He gave us a computer with a lot of porn on it. And yes.
Okay. So. Before we
I kind of want that last bit left in there.
Before we get into this week's episode of GenLock, which was super fucking tight.
It was.
There's a few things to get into first.
This episode, I liked you better.
I feel
really.
I feel underwhelmed.
Really.
That's.
Yes.
I don't know how.
But because this was the episode that sold me on it. But we'll get.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
We'll get into that. So first of all, unfun things to talk about. Rooster Teeth announced today that Vic Mignogna.
Mignogna?
Vic Mignogna will no longer be voicing Crow. This will not affect the content of Ruby going forward. Otherwise, in other words, he'll be getting recast.
He's gonna be somebody. Who are we praying for?
I'd like to see somebody internal.
Yeah, for sure. No,
I'm gonna say I would like to see Jeff. Mm-hmm. Jeff hasn't been cast anybody in Ruby yet.
Aaron,
I think he could do it.
Aaron, you're on Jeff too. You're on Team Jeff on that one.
I guess so. I like Jeff.
What do you think?
I don't know if it'll necessarily. Are we not going to talk about the actual scandal?
Oh, no,
just going to get
it.
I was like, yeah, some shit happened. Who's going to be Crow?
I just want to know.
The face that you made me.
Maybe Vic's got a brother out there somewhere.
Hey, you might.
Yeah. No.
Cool.
Fine, sounds fine.
That's how tonight's going.
Right?
What?
Is there anybody that you want to see?
What's your beef, Nolan?
I would like the reanimated corpse of Maniom to reprise. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that.
He actually was going to, or was thinking about playing Crow. But
I thought you meant the reanimated corpse for a second. I was.
He was in talks.
It
turned out to be a Weekend at Bernie's situation.
Okay, so you guys said it earlier, and I think that I wouldn't have thought about it had you not said it, but Jason.
Oh, Jason Saladana.
Matt would be really good as it.
I think Matt, I could definitely see. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a tremendous vocal range.
Oh yeah.
Speaking wise.
Like honestly,
he might be a good singer.
Acting wise, I would probably say Jeff or Jason, but as far as the range goes, I'm gonna have to say Matt. So that's a hard call.
Yes. He sings at the end of every Extra Life.
Matt does?
Yeah.
Oh.
He does a guitar.
It's okay.
It's okay.
But it's 6 o'clock in the morning.
I've never heard
It's
him
not
sing.
fucking awful.
That's cool.
No, it's not.
That's good. That's nice.
Like you can tell that he does it as like some fun stuff to do.
Obviously,
it's usually a heartfelt song and everything as well.
Obviously, the reason behind this is the recent and ongoing allegations against Vic for
Vic Vinegar Mignogna, as he's not referred to anywhere.
So for inappropriate conduct and contact, we're not going to call it anything else than that. But I don't want to spend too long on this because
that's not exactly. Basically, his thesis and his various apologies in reference to this is that he is used to being a very gregarious, open person, I guess you would say. Affectionate. And to most of his fans, they're wanting this sort of, on the base level of physical contact that you would see from a public figure like forehead kisses and hugs and things like that, and he just assumed that everybody in his fan base was into that sort of thing for a long time, without doing the, due diligence to be aware of people's actual consent and desires when interacting with them, and that doesn't fly anymore. So Vic is seeing the error of his ways, it seems. And I can never take an actor's apology that well because they're actors.
Yeah.
So they could just be acting.
It's a little weird to have somebody who, for a living, lies.
Right.
Technically.
Yeah.
For a living, tries to convince you they're being sincere.
At the same time, with everything that I read, it was like, it wasn't like he was touching some girl in a dark alley or like forcing somebody into a situation that they didn't want to be, like forcing somebody into a situation that they didn't want to be in. It seemed genuine, although I haven't read all the tweets and everything, that he was just, it was like at meet and greet panels, and he just stepped a little too far with people who weren't really thinking to go that, and also with dealing with 500 people a day when I can speak as one of those fucking 450 people that are like, yeah, dope, awesome, he kissed my forehead, dope, I would be okay with that.
Right.
But and it might not be 450 people, obviously, but that's just like the statistic in my head, because that's how I am. So I always assume that, like, if you met one of your fucking idols or like somebody that you would actually want to meet at a meet and greet, a hug doesn't seem too far.
And see, I'm the type of person that I'm like, don't touch me unless I ask you to.
Yeah, that's like the back and forth there.
Right.
Like I feel like it's genuine, but it might be because I'm the kind of person that like is perfectly okay with that kind of thing.
The apology felt genuine enough, but it got really old how he kept trying to frame it emotionally. You know, like how it was like really started off really strong, emotionally manipulative. Like, this is gonna be sad. Like,
close the doors. We're about to have a rap session, you guys. Get on your knees.
Yeah.
Get out the listening blankets.
Yeah, that was a little odd, but I really don't know Vic as a person in general. So
I don't know whether
that
might just be how he is.
Right.
But, I mean,
grandiose way of doing this but I mean, it's one panel room.
Yeah.
And a whole YouTube collective, obviously, but
I'm sure that there are some allegations that are over the top. One absolutely was that we looked into, and I'm sure there are some people that, hopefully not, but there could be people that would accuse him of even worse things than he's been accused of. That's, to be seen. Whatever, it doesn't really matter at this point.
Are you guys talking about like a homophobia thing or something?
Oh yeah, he on his Twitter he posted like a screenshot that he made a note on his phone, posted a screenshot of it, saying that people were accusing him of being homophobic in reference to a character he voiced on Star Trek. He said he didn't think the character was gay
because he had been told by a show creator that
he was not. And fans were attacking him, saying he was homophobic because of that. There was another one where they said he was anti-Semitic.
He wouldn't sign. He also wouldn't sign a gay fanfic character because it was non-canon, and they thought that it was because of him.
Right.
Him being gay.
Canon.
Yeah, but they thought it was because he was a gay character, and
I mean.
And then, like, he also said something. Another paragraph on his tweet was something about he was saying that he wasn't anti-Semitic. And then there's another paragraph, and about like one sentence of it was actually about the allegations that we were talking about previously.
Right.
Or the anti-Semitic
I don't fully remember.
He was vague about what he was being accused of there,
Yeah.
but I can't imagine him getting very far in show business and not having a good relationship with Jewish people. I'm just kidding.
No,
Gee
not.
whiz. Yeah, you're right. I'm kind of not. It's fine. It's fine.
At it. Like it's totally like I feel like that's a compliment more than anything.
Well, it's still stereotypical. Yeah, it's not okay. It's like
that does kind of bring me to my point though. I have a hard time feeling sympathy because like this is the thing that's happening a lot more recently, and I think some witch hunts have been a little extreme, and some people have gotten off the hook without much strike to their career at all. Chris Brown,
Yeah, wow, he just fucking soft shoot his way out of that one.
Yeah, a lot of things.
Made a documentary about it. Still had it going.
Yeah, and as someone who works in the working class creative industry and knows a lot of people who would love to have those kind of opportunities, I just can't have sympathy for someone who, if any of the allegations are true, is still able to carry out a career after those kinds of things. Because, like, our path forward is, like, any small fuck up can set us back so much. So it's like, if he loses the work at Funimation, that sucks. He's a good voice actor. It sucks he's not in RWBY anymore.
Right.
But be more aware of yourself, and hopefully, I mean, if he's sincere and it is like does try to be a better person going forward, then hopefully it's not the death knell in his career, and he can make a comeback.
It's also worth noting that we are in a different time now than when he started going to conventions and doing everything, and like
people are more sensitive.
People are far more sensitive.
There's a different sort of social
and
contract
it's not,
when it comes to this.
and I'm definitely not saying that you shouldn't be if you feel the need to be. Like that's not a thing. But we are in a mode of having more, actually less acceptance of fuck ups because you assume things. Yeah. Because this is the situation that we're talking about. Is he just assumed that every single
Yeah.
So, and I totally understand that. So it's like, I feel like, not only being aware of himself, but being aware of the time that you're in. Right. And if you've been doing this for 15 years, you should have been growing as someone around the public rather than just
getting lazy, as he put it.
Which is actually, he said, getting lazy and just doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like as the dialogue becomes more pervasive and more people are talking about it, being assumptive becomes less of an excuse. And it's like the standard is changing when it comes to that, because if everybody's constantly talking about sexual misconduct or, inappropriate touching in general, and how it affects large groups like companies and public figures and their fan bases, it seems like you don't have good footing if your main defense is that you just assumed that they wanted to be treated that way. Right. Which in some ways is unfair, because if you do see a multitude of a certain response, it's natural to make an assumption about what that response would be, because that's just part of like adaptation as a human. But at the same time, we're trying to develop a society wherein nobody is the victim of those kinds of assumptions. Right. So it's a challenge.
But things are said. He apologized. He's losing his stuff at RWBY or at Rooster Teeth in general. And then, so do we really think that Funimation's going to say anything on it? Because he's already fucking Edward. It's not like he's going to take him out. They're going to take him out.
Well, he made that post on like the 21st, and then they fired him like today, I think. Yeah. So Funimation has had time to like make that decision. If it doesn't come within the next couple of days, it probably won't actually happen. Yeah.
Probably. Do you think that anything with Broly would get boycotted in that?
I mean,
range?
I think if they try to boycott Broly at this point, it'll sell more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
If for that,
yeah. Because I don't think enough people are aware. Like the people that would boycott it, I don't think enough of them are aware that Vic is Broly. Like,
probably not.
So I don't think they just like it's not really an advertised thing.
For me, it was like, oh, he's Ed. Oh, he's Broly.
I knew he was Broly.
Yeah, I saw like the list of his like the things he's acted as, and I was just like, I've seen all of these. What?
So speaking of seeing all of these, March 9th, we only have fucking 7 more weeks.
What?
RVB, that is right.
I was like,
Red versus Blue. Singularity. Nice.
Singularity? Mm-hmm. So we're gonna actually see the full. AI?
Well, it's gonna be the part 3 to this.
Yeah.
Wait.
Part 2.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm gonna need to get caught up.
Season 15, yeah.
Right. Was it so?
I mean, how far behind are you?
She's behind.
How far behind?
Yeah.
It's all of it.
Oh.
We've watched some of it.
We've watched
What?
But
I watched like almost an entire season with you like a year and a half ago.
1 through 13 on Netflix.
Yeah.
Then I'll let you guys borrow 15 and 16.
14.
well, I mean, we have first.
14 is a non.
You
Most
should still watch it.
We have first, so we don't need to borrow.
Does it have any
DVDs,
actual
but-
lore?
It's better with the DVDs.
Yeah, because it plays as a
Yeah.
as a DVD.
And there's
Borrow
also
the DVD.
there's
Does
also
it have any more
there's
lore
also
as the
special
show?
features that are nice.
Oh yeah, they are good.
What's up?
Is there any lore in 14 at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's.
Okay, well then yeah.
There's a bunch of world building. There's
Yeah.
like stuff you already
Yeah.
could have known.
It's
the one
not.
where
It's
all
not.
different animators.
There's a.
Right.
Some of it is non-canon and
Yeah.
multiverse. Some of it is canon. None of it is like necessary for the story
Right.
canon. But
It's insulary,
yeah.
but it's all pretty good.
But
Like
Find that word for me.
insulary.
Like literally, because I've
It's,
never used it in a sentence.
It's a guy named Larry, and he's an insel.
Not essential,
Not essential.
but still part of it.
It's not
insulary.
necessary for the whole story. It's just a little bit you throw in.
Okay, so most Kingdom Hearts. Got you.
the padding.
Pretty much, yeah.
Got you.
Padding out the filler episodes.
Sorry, I interrupted that because I've heard that phrase like 7 times in the past week for some reason.
So yeah, but no, like, then that's what the name invokes to me is the singularity is like, but that's this season's all with time and stuff, and yeah, that gets mixed up in there with string theory
Didn't
and
they
all of
call
that.
themselves the thing?
Did they?
Didn't they?
And they call themselves what?
Didn't they call
They-
their what
the-
would happen if all of them got back together? The singularity. I thought that's what.
I need to
Isn't that
watch.
what Kronos is going for? The singularity. He's trying to unite all of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that, but I thought that the AIs as well called themselves the singularity when what would become of them if they were to all get back together would be the singularity. I thought that was it. I might just be fucking making that up in my head. It might just sound really super cool. It might be true and also super cool and never been said before. If so, called it. Anyway.
There was a barely passable BioShock clone called Singularity that came out in the early days.
I played that.
360.
Barely passable BioShock clone?
Yeah.
That's it.
Singularity.
Was it okay?
It was okay.
Calling it now. Reverse Blue will no longer be made in Halo. Be made in BioShock.
Oh, please.
Singularity.
That'd be neat.
BioShock.
Oh, that would be cool. We should. Oh, like a machinima BioShock.
And we can talk about it.
I could booty shoot, but you don't have any. We'd have to use Source or something. There's no fucking like Forge or anything in BioShock. Unless,
Yeah, we could use like.
are there
Source.
PC versions of BioShock?
Sure.
Are there?
Yeah.
Are you sure of that? It's a Microsoft game.
Yeah.
You're a Microsoft.
Sure.
Your face is a Microsoft game.
I think I've seen someone play it like.
It seems like
on
it should
Steam
be.
once.
I want to know. Going the other way.
Anyway,
Yeah,
talk about
I've got it on.
Fine.
I've got it on.
I mean,
Yeah, that's what
we
I thought.
can we can do that after
Sweet.
because we need to get into main event episode 3 of GenLock. So, Colin, do tell why this episode you found to be less than whelming.
Underwhelming. Because. Okay, so I understand it's like the second birth thing, fucking giraffe baby falling out of the mother's womb onto her head. Fucking
Maisie.
bullshit. Yeah, she like totally like the whole continuity of like, okay, you have different limbs now, so of course you're not going to understand how to work them. I liked that. I don't like that we barely saw any like true real movement.
Yeah,
out
we
of them.
did.
That was shit. Other than Chase, no.
No, you saw out of the other characters whenever they're doing
They
the thing
tried
with the
some
gun.
They tried some stuff, but it
They did
wasn't-
a whole bunch of different stuff.
I felt like the movements were underwhelming. I felt like more.
Well, they were
jumping
just
or-
getting used
And
to
they
it.
have no idea what they're doing.
What I expected Chase to do when he came up and started doing his thing was to like fucking bounce off the goddamn columns and like come out in a different direction instead of like staying on.
He
the ground
grabbed
all the time.
I think
a
he was being-
rocket
yeah.
and threw
No,
it
I
back at
understand.
him.
That is a very redeeming factor. However, I thought it was going to be more epic in the way of like using the columns to like project off of.
He wasn't going for like epic or necessarily.
He wanted to make a point.
He wanted to dominate that other guy.
Well, I know that.
He got up in his face. It's like, you fucking my bitch now? I know I don't have a lower half. But
dude, yeah, no, he straight up got in the face of that dude's mech and went,
nah, son.
He took the pole, the flag, and like stuck it in between the
dude's legs.
So can we talk about how fucking easy that shit was to call though?
That he was gonna do it?
What?
No, that dude was fucking.
Oh, no, I didn't. I had no.
Me and Serena both have been like.
I saw inklings of it.
The moment it went down.
Right. I was maintaining plausible deniability up until this last episode, but.
See, fuck no. As soon as
I wasn't even something I thought about.
They were not friends in the first episode. You could tell that like that was like his girl, and they were like just getting a.
But the dynamic.
4 years is a long time, Colin.
The dynamic,
a lot can happen.
After that, seemed like they were fucking.
Yeah, now in retrospect.
No, not in retrospect at all. That was what. I was like,
there was plausible deniability.
There was plausible deniability, but it was super easy to
but
call it.
Okay, yeah, no, it was very.
Why would they bring Chase back and not give him a little bit of a negative somewhere, other than his body being destroyed?
I was gonna say that's a.
Is it a little negative? He lives in a fucking tube, man.
Positive to being dead, isn't it?
4 years.
I feel like the fact that he was dead was enough positive to not have the negative, and especially being like the number one fucking home user.
Fucking ghost killmonger over here. You gotta kick him while he's down.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Would you be happy if you died and came back a super soldier who had one purpose?
There has to be some kind of emotional tangibility to the character other than just I'm trying to ghost back into my ex's life.
There's a lot you can do with that though. Wait, what? I don't think he was trying to like I'm gonna hologram my way back into this puss.
Man, he probably.
Why would he have crushed the basketball if that was not the case?
No, what's gonna?
He still has an emotional attachment to her.
After 4 years of being through complete.
He's probably like holding on to his memories.
He hasn't seen his home life. He hasn't seen his home life in 4 years. All he's been able to think about was her. I'm guaranteeing you, when he first woke up, he was probably like, let me call her, let me call my family, let me do this. Right. And they wouldn't allow him to do it.
Nah, son, we don't have any phones that can go underwater.
The people that have been stalking
Miranda.
Yeah. Where's Miranda? Is she safe? Is she alright?
The people that have been spending their whole time.
I wish that. That does sound like.
You're saying that the people that have been spending their whole time around him and basically going over his psychology of how his brain works and everything
are manipulating him? Yeah.
Well, no, not just that, but are also not going to prepare him for the fact that when he goes back, that's not going to be his life anymore.
Well, how would they know?
Well, he knows that it's not.
Because they've been stalking his fucking life.
Still doesn't mean it's not going to be.
He's a government agent.
Property.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's government property, but why does that mean they're going to
constantly
keep
able
up
to
on
monitor him so that he can do well for this top secret fucking thing?
He is doing well for it.
Right, but
he's been in a tank for 4 years.
Yeah.
He wasn't before then.
Right.
But what I'm talking about before then, once he's there, why do they have to keep tabs on his ex-girlfriend who thinks he's dead and his family and stuff?
Prepare him for the fact that his family and his life is not going to be the fucking same. Like mentally prepare him in some way through like some kind of therapy or some shit.
Right. What I'm saying is he should be like fine with the situation by the time he gets reintroduced to it because of the fact that they have some sort of knowledge of what is happening, or just the fact that
not to the point of
it doesn't fucking matter anymore because you're a living corpse who is piloting a fucking giant mech. Like,
but here's what I think.
Who cares about your girlfriend?
What I think happened was that no matter what, he may have gotten over it, but the moment he saw her again and all of his friends again, memories probably came flooded back.
Right.
He got nostalgic, and then whenever he looked across the courtyard, because he hasn't had a chance to even talk to her yet.
Right.
Like, to even address anything. So he's probably, like, holding on to a lot of emotions regarding that.
He probably has
and
some
he, like,
shit to say.
sees them across the courtyard, and they're talking, and...
He's like, somebody moved in.
But that guy was also throwing shade at him.
That dude was... Well, he wasn't really throwing shade.
Yes.
What did you say?
Enough to absent-mindedly crush a fucking... full, probably, like, way better than steel ball in there.
He's a giant robot.
Correct,
he could crush that just by...
They can still feel.
Right, but he's also a giant robot.
get that. We'll have to see the.
We don't know. We don't know how hard that was for him. They could have been like crushing a paper ball.
An unconscious reaction definitely happened,
right.
though.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not happy about it.
For sure. Yeah, you're right.
But I don't think he's like. Cut myself into pieces. This is my last resort.
You see,
suffocation, no breathing. I live in a tube.
He tried to bail. He tried to leave and walk away from it, and then yeah.
No breathing. I live in a tube.
I have.
It hit me too hard. Oh, sorry.
I'll have to go back and watch the first couple episodes again to see if it's more obvious to me. I didn't notice it because. Honestly,
there's one interaction they have in episode 2 that's pretty damning, in which
they walked out to the hangar so that she could go meet the new recruits, and that's when I called it.
He goes, "Hey, do you want to get some coffee before we?" Like, he kind of accentuates the word coffee, where like he means like hot coffee, as in a pseudonym for sexual intercourse that we have sometimes.
I just didn't.
The moment it happened, I was like, "They fucking."
I just didn't really find any connection with the characters the first 2 episodes.
Didn't even notice it.
Yeah, to really notice the subtext of interactions like that.
I don't know if it's that I noticed the subtext or that I just wanted to call another couple on Nolan because he doesn't like.
Which brings me.
I don't like people being happy and in relationships. I'm against it, and I always will be.
Okay. Please tell me you didn't have that on camera at all.
No.
He's waiting for me to put them down.
So,
which brings me to this episode. I fucking love this episode and gave me exactly what I was wanting, which was to make me care about the characters.
Yeah.
I got enough of that across for me in the second episode, but I think this episode is definitely building the team.
The second episode introduced them more. Like the first one felt more introducing the world, but I felt like there was still so much world to introduce.
Yeah.
And like concept that it still kind of overtook the introduction of the characters, and I didn't get to know them in the second episode.
You only got a smattering of it, but what I got was all I needed for how far along we were.
Yeah.
It gave me a good enough excuse to keep watching and assume that they were going to do enough characterization for me to like it.
You had already developed your favorite character by the second episode.
Yeah, I had, and that maintains the case. Kazu.
Oh yeah.
Kazu's good shit.
Kazoo?
Yeah.
What's up?
What up? No, dude, McLeod's my girl.
Yeah, for sure.
When Valentina chases after her and is like, "Come here, you little bunny."
Yeah.
I screamed.
That was good to see them kind of getting a like rapport between each other.
And they're all like-minded.
When she like started moving and everything, and like actually started going, and as soon as Weller was like, "So who's next?" and both of them were like, "Me." That's cool as fuck. So yeah, the like-minded thing.
Did you guys only watch it once, or have you guys seen it like multiple times?
One time.
Just one time. Oh, okay. There's a small little thing that's like up on this chalkboard whenever he's convincing them to get into it. What?
What's that smell?
No, it says what is the same.
Oh, okay. I read what's that smell and I was like, what?
But it says it, but it sits there and it gives it a lot of camera time.
Yeah.
I don't know, just something I overthought. Like,
what is the same?
I definitely saw
what
it.
is the same?
I definitely saw it, but I didn't know what it said.
Yeah.
There's a
what's that smell?
There's a second RVB reference that we missed in the first 2 episodes, by the way.
What?
I know the one that the why are we even here?
Yeah.
It's one of life's great mysteries.
Right. Yeah. There's that one.
Yeah.
It's more subtle. It's to do with the map, and apparently it has something to do with the world as well.
I don't know what it is.
Think about it. What's different about the RVB map?
Map?
Florida.
Oh, is Florida gone on there?
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice.
Didn't think about that one.
Good job.
Wonder why Florida's gone in this one.
Probably
Global
some.
warming?
It sank.
Probably.
Yeah, it probably
Broke off,
sank.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's like an underwater Florida.
Like Atlantis?
I need to pay more attention because New Orleans is probably gone as well. Like the bottom part of Louisiana is probably gone.
Maybe.
I thought it was like just
If it's-
Florida.
No, it's just Florida. It's just Florida. It's nothing else.
I need to go look at this.
It
It's
folds
by
at the
state
line.
lines. It's
Yeah.
like
Just the state line.
by a
But if
political
they're
map.
making it
of
like
Florida.
a reality thing of Florida being gone, then that would be
Panhandle.
logical.
It's probably anytime they can work that joke in, they will. And they probably like, hey, it's the future. Florida's gone, right? Sure. Let's make that RVB reference. Okay, how do we work that into the story where it's not just a one-off joke? How can we actually play off of that?
I mean, there is a high portion of the Rooster Teeth community that I would say are left-leaning and environmentalist and whatever, so that would totally resound if it was like, oh, there actually was global warming. We figured it out after it fucked a lot of shit up, which I don't know if they'll ever make a reference towards it, but it might be like a little snippet. But if that's, that being why Florida's gone or why other parts of other states are gone, that would be perfect.
Did you guys say who your favorite characters were?
I was about to ask who.
Oh, definitely the Cloud. Like,
is there McCloud?
Sure.
Yeah.
Maisie.
Maisie's fucking it up, and I love it. Like,
I like Valentina a lot as well.
She's cool. I really like Yellow, martial artist.
The Union girl.
What is her
Former
name?
Union.
I feel like
hers has been said out loud very.
But it's one that none of us know how to say, isn't it?
No, that's Valentina. Well, they've had everyone's had trouble pronouncing everyone's names.
Yeah.
Purple.
Kazoo, she's Romana, Rumumamama.
Yellow Ranger.
She's really cool. She'd be my second favorite.
If this comes up with her name.
Yeah, I think mine would definitely be McLeod than Kazoo.
Oh no, it didn't. Okay.
When who was it? Kazu thought Chase was threatening him, and he was just like, "No, but she will."
She'll kick your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Chase.
gonna get out of that tank and fight me?
Yeah.
Oh, got me, bruh.
Another thing, Rooster Teeth is really, really good at their training montages. They've always been really, really good at showing how OP someone is or how underskilled someone is in a quick little flash of quick little action bits, and it's good to see that. It felt very much season 9 training room in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially with the spires coming up and all that.
Yeah, I mean.
Another thing I liked, like in the end, like what's his name, the doctor, Willer. His speech at the end, like how he's talking about like he originally created this process like not in a militaristic way, but of course. In times of war,
the first thing that happens.
Yeah, the first thing that happens, he's like, I didn't even want this to happen.
Right.
Like, but you know, it is what it is, so we might as well do our best.
Also, I mentioned last time that I had some suspicion in regards to Weller, and it has dissipated a little bit after this episode.
Damn right.
Now
He's just keeping secrets.
I still think it's possible that he has some kind of.
You know, I don't trust the polity.
I don't either.
But I trust Weller.
Right.
Like, and I think that he's in the same boat. Like, I think that he realizes that this is the right side between the two, but neither side is the right side in war.
And speaking of between the two, like we talk about the 6 months thing.
Yeah, that the Union is going to take over North America within 6 months and force out the polity, which we've been given so little of like what the Union and the polity are after, other than that the polity is just trying to establish order and their presence in North America, and the Union is preventing that and causing mayhem in New York 4 years ago.
So,
which leads me to believe there's something more to it than.
And they also referenced that they were going to be pushed out of North America, which means they probably have other places.
oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. Polity seems like your world police.
So,
Team America.
unless we have some major, not too major, but time jumps going forward in the next few episodes, we're not going to get there by the end of this season. So
You had the theory as well that we wouldn't get anything about what either one was about until like a couple seasons in. Just so that you could form your own opinion about everything else besides that.
Right. Like, so I wonder if we're going to jump ahead and find out what happens in 6 months, or we're going to be left like this first batch, learning the characters, learning the world, figuring out the deep politics and everything, and where everybody kind of falls in the complexities. Yeah. And as our characters learn of the impending threat, we'll learn about it too, and then left to figure out what happens when we come back.
Well, we've definitely seen a reference to them kidnapping to a point.
Mhm.
Unity, I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Union?
Union, sorry.
If they know where
I just mixed the two names.
they said something about they tried to get him to like leave, and he's like, and Willer was like, nah, like we're fine already here. What if the end of the season ends out with an attack and the fall of fucking Anvil?
Ooh, okay, I see that.
Also, we have gotten a mention. The only thing close to a like where the line is drawn is when Yellow Chick was being accused of being a Union per. Yeah. Is it Yasmin?
Yasmin, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's Yasamin. I just looked it up. Yasamin. It's like
So
Yaz.
Yaz.
Yeah.
Yaz.
Is it
Yaz.
like Z? Okay.
She's Iranian.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet. Okay. Well, yeah. When she's being accused of being in the Union, she's like, "Not my Union," which leads me to believe that there was some kind of shift in their methods, or
the dichotomy probably changed.
yeah,
A White
some
Fang
sort of-
scenario.
Yeah.
So I think she said that she was part of the Union before the attack on New York 4 years ago.
Right.
There was like some shift then.
Right. Maybe once they started using nanotech for whatever purpose they were, she started to have reservations. I don't know. I'm really interested in her.
Like you said, White Fang, but it's true to real life. All revolutions eventually, if they grow big enough, encounter the splinter and that decision of.
Do we get violent?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also I was referencing the kidnapping thing, but there's the scene where the claw comes out and like grabs some dude, and then he gets pulled into the tank.
Yeah, in the first episode.
They don't kill him.
okay.
Of the
It's-
spider.
It's probably a dark side and his parademons kind of situation where like they take them and reprocess them.
Yeah,
And-
like brainwash them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brainwash them and like fuck up with their bodies. They probably do a whole bunch of weird shit to them with the nanites.
Which makes me wonder about what the soldiers actually look like.
Oh my god.
Okay?
He's
We've had a moment.
yeah.
Which makes me wonder what the soldiers actually look like under the helmets, and whether
Purple.
that will be like a huge reveal of
I think that they might be like genetically
Purple
modified.
matrix veins going up their
Maybe?
face.
fucking, or like just like deadpan faced, like
Mhm.
mindless fucking obey orders bullshit.
Yeah.
Basically. I don't know, but that's what I thought the
I'm
first time
picturing,
that I saw him not act, because they had every full opportunity to kill the fuck out of that dude, but they didn't. They pulled him into the tank. Why would they pull him into the tank if that wasn't something that was going on?
I'm picturing something Borg-like,
Yeah.
but with like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
purplish color scheme
Yeah,
that we
for
got
sure.
on the nanotech.
Or that suit could just be reprocessed on them and that's just their body now.
Ooh.
I kind of just assumed that. I don't know why. Just
That's
that
also
the
to
suit
talk-
was them.
It's also to talk about the nanotech and like actually infecting them.
That's how Chase stayed alive
Would
in the plane crash.
No, yeah. That's the reason that he stayed alive after the plane crash.
So these nano people are bigger, stronger,
Yeah.
faster.
Would you ethical question, like the Union, would you augment yourself with nanotech if given the opportunity, or like GenLock?
Brain?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
I would do GenLock.
Well,
If
there's
I was told I was compatible, I'd be in there.
Oh yeah, GenLock. That
Well,
makes sense.
I wouldn't want to be.
You don't have to
Just
modify
not in there
yourself.
anyway.
for GenLock.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be like a death robot. I'd want to use GenLock for like, dude, if you could like run an entire orchestra from your own.
Right. Okay, so body parts.
That's cool.
I don't really find it to be an ethical question as much as a philosophical question.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you could determine.
like it doesn't really fall under like right and wrong to me.
I'm slowly destroying my body and all my organs anyway.
Right.
I'm gone. Let's go.
I
for
mean,
it.
like as far as
I can be a robot.
if a society all
Is
has
it gonna
neural
give me my kidneys
implants,
back?
wouldn't it then be possible to? It's easier for you to manipulate your society than
Oh
if
yeah,
they have.
and that's where I think it's
right.
more philosophical.
Oh, that's a
like
good
I think
point.
there's a grand ethical question on that and what you can do with it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
like as far as a decision on your own account,
Yeah, that's philosophical.
But for me, like body parts, and sure, as long as it's a 1-to-1 ratio and perfect, at least as far as things I need, like my hands, legs, and as long as they work.
Feeling.
What?
I also want feeling.
Exactly. Like a dynamic sensitivity of touch and everything is essential to what I do.
A Dr. Giro kind of robot.
Right.
I need
that fucking whatever Luke Skywalker's getting. I need that tech.
That'd be nice.
So I can't feel it, man.
Yeah, I can.
Speaking of Luke Skywalker,
What?
When's that said?
It's literally shown in Empire Strikes Back. The first thing that happens when he gets his new hand is, ding,
yeah.
ow. Like he literally has a fucking reaction. Yeah.
And then they explain that it's really good technology.
Yeah.
But speaking of Luke Skywalker,
We got you one of the
Maisie
good
Williams'
hands. Oh, my
character
bad.
makes a reference to Skywalker in this episode.
Oh, she does. Yeah, Luke.
She's like, "Are we gonna Skywalker it?"
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Like, you're gonna force us to Luke Skywalker in this situation?
Yeah. But brain implants, I would love to have like a proper Halo
brain.
art. Yeah, that too. But like a proper Halo RBB kind of AI. And if that means I have to have like some neural attachments so they can do their thing, okay with it.
Can we talk about what Weller said to the AI?
That he was gonna reprogram to.
Oh my
sing
god.
in- What
What was
was
it?
it?
Oh
It was some folk artist.
fucking-
Yeah.
David Guthrie? That's not right.
No,
No.
it wasn't Guthrie.
More of a Dylan fan.
Started with a G.
But he ends up reprogramming him at the very end.
Yeah.
Wait, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was
Yeah,
everything he was saying was in
It
that
was the
melody.
very, very end.
Yeah.
Damn. I had to step away
Yes.
at like the 20th minute.
Oh,
and
the
I never got
commander.
a chance to come back to it.
Right after that says something that comes off as a joke, but might be
What
something
is
like
happening to
a little bit of
my-
foreshadowing. She's saying, "I'm losing control of my station."
She said, when he said, more of a Dylan fan.
Mhm.
I was just like, I love that this is in like actual Earth stuff.
Yeah.
Like I love that this is like real Earth. Like this is what happens later, kind of stuff. Because like you can fuck it up, but there's a lot of ways to do it really well, and I feel like they will not fuck it up.
Yeah.
For sure.
Have you noticed that in deep future shows they always reference things from our time? Like there's a gap. There's like a 60-year gap.
What's really interesting
In our time?
No, they could have been like, "That's our real Joseph Trundleberg over there," and they're like, "Who the fuck is that?" Oh, that was in 2035.
What's really interesting is there is the progression of pop culture and like in their reference to it almost happens on a direct linear path, parallel path to as it develops in our
Right.
time.
It's almost like it's
crazy.
happening. It's almost like, it's like that Clark Kent guy in Superman. You never see him in the same place at the same time. So he's got some flimsy excuse why he has to run off and jerk off in
The
a
thing is,
phone booth or something.
there's no way that they're not gonna make references towards like the immediate past as well, or the like 30 years.
Right.
Past. What's 20? What 20?
What is it?
2062.
Yeah, 2060
Oh, yeah,
something.
it's 1972.
So them referencing, I mean, that's a little less than 60 years. I'm not doing math right now.
It's like Bob Dylan was
Like
super relevant
50 years.
100 years ago for them. So it's like,
Yeah, but no, I mean, Dylan. Yeah, absolutely. Dylan is one of the people who's going to be talked about for hundreds of years.
Also,
Right, yeah,
Weller is an eccentric motherfucker.
Yeah,
He has
still,
a test named after
what I'm
him.
saying is,
it's the same thing as being like oh, more of a Bach fan or a Chopin fan. Like Dylan's going to be one of those kind of musical figures in the future.
That's fair. I'm
So
not saying it's out of the realm of possibility that he should mention Dylan. I'm
Okay.
saying it's that it just, to me, it's like if you're gonna reference anything, it seems like it would be possible that they would reference things that haven't happened yet to us, but can't because obviously that time hasn't happened yet. You know what I'm saying?
It's not as weird to me when it's something that's more universal like that, though. Like, whenever it's, like, RVB's really bad about this and always has been. Like, whenever they make a joke about, the Matrix sequels in, like, 2003.
Right.
That that ages well. But, I mean, it does, because they're still horrible, but still not relevant. But something like that, or a Star Wars joke or something that's more universal, I think that holds up more.
However, if they go to the point of like saying, when Ariana Grande went for governorship of California in 2023 or some shit, and make a reference like that, that would take me out.
Yeah.
That's too much.
I mean, like that specific one, even too much. But like even just that, in general, like format,
defining future events from our perspective.
That's a little too reaching.
Yeah. I'm not saying they should do that. I'm saying whenever they do reference things that have already happened to us, it makes me aware of the fact that they could be referencing things that haven't happened to us yet, but can't.
Right. Tell me what you
know.
know.
Exactly.
And when it's not clear, it's like, okay, you can keep your secrets.
By the way, did I mention before in the season 16 commentary, there is a little GenLock teaser of sorts in season 16 of REB. In the Doc and Donut fight at the end, that fucking epic like brawl going through all the different
time
when they're in New York City or whatever at the end, that's a GenLock. That's set.
That's cool.
I was trying to find it, but
when on a rooftop.
You find or Reddit find?
What?
Was that a you find or a Reddit
That
find?
was a listening to the commentary and Nicolosi saying like we borrowed these assets from GenLock.
Cool.
Dr. Weller and McLeod made a Doctor Who reference.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that in
No.
the previous episode?
No, I think so.
I can't remember what it was, but she said, Doctor Who? And he said, no, sorry, love. Or something like that.
No,
that's right.
He says no Dr. Weller.
Yeah, he says no Dr. Weller.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah.
That's a very David Tennant thing to say.
Yeah.
Sorry, love.
He said something else before he said that. I don't think it was sorry, love. So, I can't remember.
I couldn't remember. I saw,
No, that's the other show I'm in.
He's not in it anymore.
He's still
That's another show I was in.
Whatever.
Is there anything else of this episode to cover?
We've been bouncing back and forth. I can't remember what we talked about.
It started off with why, and I went like way deep into the episode. So, how did you feel about the arm to leg to body ratio thing that he was like, it just needed to be standard because they rushed it.
Well, I mean, they had to rush it because they didn't have a lot of time.
Right.
Yeah, but that was because the government was like, we're militarizing this now.
I also think.
Well,
how much better would it be?
Oh, it absolutely would be better. And they're probably going to get more proportionate ones going forward.
That's them without armor. Like you see that it looks like they have muscles on their body.
It's like just their fucking exoskeleton or whatever. So I'm gonna say that at some point, I think Weller and his team are going to go rogue, and possibly, since those are government property, he's going to build them new mechs that are more appropriate to size and everything.
Or he's already building them.
So
or he's already building them.
In the midst of the resistance kind of thing?
Yeah, because...
Like a third faction.
Okay. I can see that.
But we're talking about the training thing. I was going to mention this earlier. McLeod was the only one who was like still wobbling even after.
Yeah.
She's the smallest one. The other two are more proportional.
Yeah.
And then she referenced her legs being really long, and like in her character, like in her model, like her legs are actually really short in comparison to her torso. I went back and looked at that.
Yeah.
Or because she's so scatterbrained, she can't control it as well, and she might end up brain hemorrhaging.
Ooh.
That's terrible.
Oh, they talked about uptime.
Yeah.
Like they can only last an hour or something?
What the fuck is uptime? He said a concept for later. I would imagine that...
It's got to be they don't know how long they can last in it.
Yeah.
Well, he said, I don't want to reach anywhere near
uptime.
Maximum uptime.
Or maybe you get permanently stuck in there and your body dies because of brain inactivity.
Yeah.
That could be a thing, because you are uploading your entire... Is it you're uploading your entire consciousness? Like
And also, what happens if you die in GenLock? That
I feel like it's at maybe. No, I feel like there's a firewall or something.
It has to have a failsafe or something. But I mean, what if that fails? Like,
I think it's.
At most, wouldn't it just leave you in a coma?
Right. If we want to get into how it could like possibly working, it's probably like since he said that it's it is a digital version of your brain or whatever, a computerized version. It's probably like a mirror, like it takes your information, mirrors in the computer, and then broadcasts that to the thing. So if anything happens, it may shut down the computer, but I don't think it's going to do anything to your brain, because your brain is just sending the signal to the system to control.
You don't think if they take damage, like I feel like it's like Matrix related. Like if you take damage in the Matrix, you feel pain in real life, like seeing Keanu Reeves spit blood when he's getting like super gut punched.
They have sensory receptors to feel things. But
right. I also in Matrix it's like direct to your mind. In GenLock it's like you have a connection to this cyber mind that is then
connected to this body.
Right.
They may still feel the pain.
No, that is your mind connected to that body.
Right, but there's a further degree of separation in that there's a separate mind involved.
Well, we've seen even in real life what placebo effects and what everything can do to your body itself.
We've also seen a still beam go through Yaz.
I think.
Oh yeah.
Before, and she just pulled it out like it was nothing.
I think it's like your brain, in relation to your own body, is only. It may not even be functioning on just like your subconscious. I need to breathe and metabolize oxygen, pump my heart, and things like that. If there's any sort of brain activity going on in the tubes, then that's what it is. But if it's it could just be all rerouted to this separate brain, which is then having all the reactions for the body. And so it's like maintaining all of that surrogate pain and everything. So like if you did feel the trauma of being stabbed to death, that brain would feel it in surrogate to the brain in your body.
So like, as well as with that, the fatigue aspect that I see, not only mentally, but actually physically, at the beginning of the second episode, I think, you see basically batteries getting loaded into one of the columns.
Yeah, like a big square thing.
Yeah, so they're absolutely not like reactor fucking like feed it material kind of thing. It looks like those are actually batteries.
It might be like a heart. Might be like a heart they're putting in there. Like it's a mechanicalized heart.
Yeah, but it's like what I see in that is they're going to it even if uptime's not a thing, they're going to eventually probably come to a point where the mechs get fatigued and they actually feel the fatigue because it's now focusing on more basic things like getting the fuck away, rather than actually fighting and stuff like that. So I feel like they're really thinking hard into this of how your body feels it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Your mind being in there.
Definitely, I think they can definitely feel things and feel fatigue, and I think that whatever uptime is, it probably has something to do with how long they're in there and the damage that can do on the brain.
Yeah.
I don't think, as of now, that if you die in GenLock, you die for real. Mainly because I feel like it would have been mentioned. Like that's absolutely a Chekhov's gun that you mentioned.
Yeah, and Weller hasn't exactly been sympathetic towards the things that they've seen.
He's still trying to convince these kids to go out and do this.
But he's
I say kids, and they're not
to
kids,
them.
but
Right, exactly.
like he could be just completely blocking off information that he has just to get them into it a little bit and then reveal them before they actually get in a combat situation.
I also got the sense that when he was trying to convince them, saying that they had the opportunity to just leave and go back to their normal stations, that wasn't actually the case. That it was so top secret that if they were to leave that facility, they would probably do so as a corpse.
Yep. Probably.
You know, do you think like the U.S. military, if they were going to show you like some super weaponized secret thing, they would be like, "Oh, it's all cool. You just got all this top secret classified information. Go back to your day job." I don't think so.
I'm so weird right now after watching and talking about, especially in this, so much Ruby stuff that it's more wholesome than I think this is going to be.
Oh, for sure.
And woo.
Yeah. I need this to be more adult. I want this to be more adult. The fact that they're saying fuck in the first fucking 3 episodes is like a setup for the fact that this can be brutal and unapologetic in how it deals with action and reaction as far as people go. Like, people are gonna fucking die, and I feel like there are gonna be people die on screen that die in not necessarily a bloody gory way, but a brutal fucking way.
Right.
Even if it's like a flash to off-screen kind of shit. So I feel like it opens up a lot of doors there.
No, I think that because whether it was intended to or not, Ruby very quickly got a young audience, and so they can push the envelope a little bit, but they can't do too much because they can't risk losing that audience. But GenLock out the gate is unrated, mature, and not restrained by anything besides what Rooster Teeth wants to do with it. I think we're going to see some hardcore deaths in this show because they can.
Yeah.
Nothing's
I also want to
them.
point out that it literally opened with a guy who's just barely a torso and an arm. Like, that's our main character. It's already pretty.
Yeah.
Have we even seen blood yet?
Yeah. We saw blood go out of Blue Ranger whenever he put the mind thingy into his mind.
Oh, yeah, the bleed out. Yeah. You're right. Is that the only instance, though? Because I've seen a lot of, like, battling. And
We probably saw some during the actual, like, fight, most likely.
I feel like the
hold on.
could have been more brutal if they were setting up to be like that.
Does oil splatter count as blood? Because if we're having mech fights, we're not going to see as much.
No, do laser beams count as bullets?
But do fucking nanotech eating you not make you bleed a little bit?
No, they probably eat the blood too, right?
But, like, the nanotech went into a lot of people's lungs, and, like, during, like, the first big fight that they had with the civilians.
Wouldn't that be like a bleeding out of the eyes, hemorrhaging kind of thing?
It might just be
Not
like
if they're slowly suffocating. It's not even a slow suffocation, it's an
like
immediate
instantaneous death.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah.
It would take them...
I'm just wondering whether we'll see...
Speaking of slowly suffocating.
Gore in this. Speaking of slowly suffocating.
Right. So, anything else to cover with GenLock?
Oh, I have a prediction.
Okay.
I just want to say this while we're early on. I think that we will find that Chase's younger sister is GenLock compatible at some point.
Yep, I can see that.
So, do we think that they're still alive because we haven't heard anything about the family?
I would assume as much.
Yeah.
Maybe the mom is dead.
Mom's probably dead.
Yeah. But I think younger sister is alive.
Yeah.
The mom seemed ready to go. I don't know.
I think she seemed ready to protect her baby.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Was it mentioned ever if his dad was military, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's also dead.
Was it ever mentioned what she did?
Mom did?
Yeah. Did it ever get mentioned what she did?
I don't think so.
It's a reference to, like, that she had a job that was super busy, I think, but I don't think they said what it was.
Military/ex-military?
She was a
Because
full-time mom.
No, she went...
With that daughter.
She looked out and went...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, like, fucking immediately went into, like, not necessarily battle mode, but, like, I know what to do in this situation mode.
There are probably contingency plans from her family, just if any.
Either that, or, I mean, there are
secret
definitely
bunker.
a lot of people who met through the military and ended up getting married. Not only in this life, but, I mean, in the future.
Maybe she's a doomsday prepper.
Maybe.
Either way.
Yep.
So yeah, that's episode 3 of GenLock, and obviously just talking about that in general. Saturdays on Rooster Teeth exclusively for First members, and you can come here to Indie Carnival on YouTube and watch us break it down every week for you guys on Wednesday. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Before we go, since we're all fans of the Sugar Pine 7 here. I don't know if you guys saw that the Otter has left the
Goodbye,
building.
Autumn.
Yes.
She will be missed.
Which is, yeah.
For sure. That's.
She's going to achieve better things, though.
Yeah. It's not a.
She's still working at Rooster Teeth. She's working on some new project, which is going to be dope. She's a great editor.
She is. She really is.
It's not a negative thing. It's just a sad end of an era, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
For somebody who seems so uncomfortable on camera, she is amazing at comedic timing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's. I mean, fucking. She's an editor.
Yeah, exactly. She's a great
has
editor.
To be, especially for something like Sugar Pine, which is all about
that's
the timing
all
of
that.
how the next clip hits.
Have you watched any recent episodes of Alt Life?
I haven't watched in 4 days.
Word. I can't remember when it started, but I've noticed, and Autumn still has a few in the can that she did, but I've noticed a trend recently. There's a lot more cinematic stuff coming back in, which is dope, but also, holding on the cuts, like getting just that one split second of watching everybody break before the cut, and I love that. It makes it a lot more endearing and more genuine.
Yeah.
Like breaking their face, or it, like the laugh, especially with Kib.
Yeah.
Like especially Clayton, fucking his laugh when he's like, it's like really serious, really just he just loses it. Yeah, you're right. It is much more endearing and
it shows the form better.
Yeah.
Because you can't do that in
because you know
television.
that it's not real.
Right.
At this point.
Yeah. It's.
You're already laughing before it gets to
This
that
is
point.
real.
If they're doing it right. This is real.
But some cool things happening from the Pines. This last episode, there's been this little mini arc going on of Steve was out because he was sick, and so James and Kib assumed that he was fired.
Mm-hmm.
So they tried to hire a new manager. They tried to hire Grace Helbig, and they tried to hire what's her fucking name? Blonde chick she's been in Sugar Pine before, from Smosh.
Yeah.
And
Caitlin.
Is it Caitlin? I can't remember. But anyway, so there's this new plot developing where Smosh is like coming in and taking over Sugar Pine, and everyone at Rooster Teeth loves Smosh. So that could actually be a thing, because Defy went defunct. Smosh is like without a home right now.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So that could totally be a thing, which would be super fucking cool.
Oh, geez, coming
Isn't,
together.
like,
It would be
from original Smosh, isn't Ian the only one left?
I think so.
Because Anthony left.
Yeah, Anthony left. Bad decision.
Why is that?
Why?
Money?
Smosh is awesome.
He might be doing something else good.
He is still on YouTube making
He is
videos, but
still
it's
on
like mostly him spending time with his family, apparently.
And he's not doing near as well as Smosh is doing at this point, especially if you look at Smosh Gaming.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he has his reasons.
He has, I'm sure he has his reasons and everything, but as far as like financially, probably not.
Right, yeah, probably.
Because they're doing just as good, if not better, than they were in their early days at this point.
At that point, this point, not so much. Since, they...
Oh, because of Defy.
Yeah, because of Defy.
Yeah.
And that whole fucking mess of things.
They're doing better, if not the same as they were in their heyday on popularity.
Oh, yeah, popularity. Yeah, popularity, definitely, yeah.
Maybe not financially, but they'll fucking fill that.
Oh, yeah, some
Pretty
will
goddamn.
pick them up, and it'd be super fucking dope if it was Rooster Teeth. Get everybody, get all the good people over to Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
And come here just to watch Indie Carnival. We'll get you guys a good website up soon. But for now,
Hold on.
What's
Did
that?
anybody watch the A Weird Place trailer?
Ooh, yeah, I forgot about that one.
yeah.
No, I didn't watch that.
What?
Is
Weird Place?
that? Yeah.
It's Achievement Hunters, like it's an escape room, like leveled escape rooms kind of show.
Oh, I saw the ad for that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Not the video, but
Oh, man.
It looks like a lot of fun. They're like trapped in an alternate world or some crazy shit.
We hadn't watched that? Can we cut and watch that and talk about it?
I mean,
we'll talk
How far
about
are we at?
too long. We'll talk about that next week. Do we know when that's dropping? Right. We got time to talk about that. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, ring that bell, watch other things, and we will see you guys next week. Actually, you might be. I think you're getting a new Fandom Nonsense next week. By the way, sorry about my voice. We Bone Farm practice yesterday. Maybe you'll see live on the Bone Farm soon to give some validation for that. But anyway, see you guys next week. New Fandom Nonsense, new first word, all the things. Like and subscribe. See you later.
Hit the bell.